What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. We have graduated at long last from round one of the T5S2 Invitational, although we still have a game going, or ready to go. This Thursday, to round out round one, that's going to be Salad versus Skew Lord, aka Lord Solar. But we are moving into round two now. These players 1-0 after the first set of the bracket. And we are... That's Maddox with the sub, by the way. Thank you so much with the Twitch Prime. Really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for the support. It certainly helps out. So anyway, we have moved forward after the first round and now are going to be closing this out before we get to the semifinals and finals rounds the weekend after this coming weekend. This first game of round two, we have Devin Swan over here in the red, aka Error. Mistakes were made. Thousand Suns have been played. This is Devin Swan. Versus, in the blue, we have Rentar, aka AshC, who put her models on the sponsors. But it's very handy, actually. While we look at her list, we can get a little quick peek at our sponsors. Very nice. I like it. All right, Ash, I appreciate that. This is AshC playing some of Valorous Heart, Adepta Sororitas, the old robot smash. We did watch Ash's game against Dudes in our multicast, and I believe we actually casted both Ash's and Devin's games together in the same stream. So if you want to go review all of the first game of this particular bit of the bracket, you can actually do that in one convenient location. All of the games are being archived on YouTube, by the way, on TacticalTortoise.com. They will not be moved over to the Tactical Tortoise replay channel, TacticalTortoiseTV, because they already exist on the regular channel. So that's where they're going to go. If anybody, I know there were a couple comments earlier this morning of people looking for where they could find the other games. They are all on there. I found out recently that they weren't getting automatically made available to subscribers on Twitch. Hopefully I will have that fixed. So if you are a Twitch subscriber, you can watch it here, or you can just go watch it on YouTube as well. Either way, works for me. I appreciate it. But we are... I'm pretty excited for this game, to be honest, chat, because I think it's going to be really interesting. We have a pretty heavy anti-psychic list over here on Ash's side. Not necessarily because it has a lot of anti-psychic particular technology, although we do have a Dogmata with a chorus of spiritual fortitude. Which can potentially make units immune to psychic powers. But we also have just Sisters generically, having a 4+ deny stratagem in the bank, plus their ability to automatically deny psychic powers in 6s, meaning you can often muck up a psychic phase that isn't positioned particularly well. Although obviously Thousand Suns have ways to get around that because they can use Cabal points to make their powers undeniable. But on the Sister side as well, we also have a 5+ ignore against mortal wounds, which is a very big deal. But then we also have all these Paragon Warsuits. And I think this is going to be an interesting matchup to watch these Paragon Warsuits fight against some some Scarabicol Terminators, because that's generally going to be, I think, the matchup that happens in this particular game. Whereas if Ash pushes these Paragon Warsuits up super far, we could see the Wombo combo enacted on those Scarabicol Terminators, and that can actually do a significant amount of damage to Paragons. Give them +1 to wound, +1 strength on their guns, so they go to strength 5, so they go to wounding Paragons on 4s, then with +1 to wound down to 3s, and it's and 2s with their Soul Reaper cannons. And while the damage from their Hellfire Missile Racks is going to be reduced a little bit, they have a ton of relatively high AP to get through Armor of Contempt, 1 damage weapons, which is not exactly what Paragon Warsuits want to see. Are Paragons even able to hide in these ruins? Looks a little dubious, to be honest. So the question is whether Ash plays her characteristic aggressive game or if she tries to play super defensive to prevent that from happening. Let's talk about the list real quick, chat. The bots should be updated, so !lists to see them. You can also find all of the lists and information about the event at tts40k.com. And we'll cover AshC's list real quick. She's bringing a single patrol detachment out of Valorous Heart. That's being led by Morven Ball. It has 1 Battle Sister Squad, because it has to. 2 units of Paragon Warsuits, all with multi-meltas and War Blades, so the +1 attack, +1 strength weapon. 2 units of Mortifiers with Anchorites, so a 3+ save Anchorite, and a mix of Flails and Buzz Blades, but all of them equipped with Heavy Flamers. Then a second patrol detachment, that one bringing Ephrael Stern and Kaiganil. I know Ash loves to play those 2 characters. Super difficult to deal with. They're -1 to be hit and wounded. And after being escorted up the table by the Paragon Warsuits, they can deal some serious damage with their pseudo smite that Ephrael Stern puts out every turn. But then they have a bunch of attacks, ignoring invulnerable saves. It can be buffed by Sororitas stratagems to deal, I wouldn't say massive damage, but enough damage, generally, to close out the game after the Paragon Warsuits have gotten done messing up whatever they're going to go fight. We have a Dogmata with Refrain of Blazing Piety, which allows her to shoot out some mortal wounds. In this case, actually pretty appropriately, 3 mortal wounds against Chaos units. It's basically a smite. It's essentially like it's almost another activation of Ephrael Stern's ability. So we have 2 ways to deal out-of-phase damage from the Sororitas army with those mortal wounds. And Ash nominally had this in order to fight against Abaddon. So Abaddon is obviously 3-wound phase capped, but the Dogmata can spend a CP to effectively Inspiring Oratory that Refrain of Blazing Piety out of sequence and automatically deal him 3 mortal wounds if he's ever the closest target. So that's pretty sweet. Also the Casket of Penance on that lady, so -1 toughness aura, basically a rad aura if we were comparing it to Adeptus Mechanicus, but against Chaos units also reduces strength, which is kind of cute. We have another unit of Paragon Warsuits, so up to 3 total units, 9 Paragon Warsuits in total, multi-meltas and Warblades on those guys, or those ladies, I should say. A Dominion Squad with a Chainsword, as well as Artificer Crafted Stormbolters, and that's it. Oh, excuse me, we have a Missionary with Chorus of Spiritual Fortitudes. It's not on the Dogmata, it's on the Missionary. I apologize. But also, it is very important in this matchup. So keeping track of where that Missionary ends up going is going to be a pretty big deal here, because it makes one of these units of Paragon Warsuits, because they are core keyworded, entirely immune to psychic powers. Interestingly, with the new errata that took place last week, or 2 weeks ago, I think, that will also ignore defensive psychic powers. So if we see things like Glamour of Zinch, I think, will also be ignored by the Missionary. I believe is that how those rules are going to interact, which is pretty weird, but, you know, it is what it is. Good stuff. All right. Moving on. We can talk about Devin's list. This is a little bit more straightforward of a list. I know Ash is pretty proud of the fact that she likes to play the Paragon Warsuits, although I think the list is it's a pretty solid list archetype, and she's definitely piloted it well. Devin's list is a little bit more straightforward, from Cult of Duplicity, Thousand Suns. So Cult of Duplicity gives us a lot of access to redeploy, so he has the Umbralific Crystal as well as Sorcerer's Facade to teleport his models around the table during the game. We have a Sorcerer, Ahriman, an Exalted Sorcerer, as well as an Infernal Master, excuse me. And later on in the list, the Warlord is actually going to be a Zongor Shaman. So we actually have 5 character casters in this list. The Infernal Master with the Umbralific Crystal. We have 2 units, of Rubric Marines. Both of them with Soul Reaper cannons. A unit of 20 Zongors that mostly just eat damage and force their opponent to attack them. 2 units of Scarab called Terminators. This is really where the damage of the damage output of the list comes from. Enormous boatloads of single damage shooting from these guys. Each of those models comes with a Inferno Combi Bolter, so an AP2 Stormbolter. It's going to be firing 4 shots at maximum range, thanks to that glorious Bolter Discipline. as well as 2 Soul Reaper cannons. So another 5 shots at strength 6 AP3 from those, and those models also equipped with Hellfury missile or Hellfire missile racks, excuse me. So another 2 shot strength 8 AP2, D3 damage. We can spend CP to get +1 attack to all of the combi bolters, making them 5 attacks each, and then we can spend 2 CP for +1 to wound. We can use prescience or presage, excuse me, to give them +1 to hit. And we can use one of the other psychic powers to give them +1 strength, I believe, and then Empiric Guidance to give them additional range. Or I think it's the Infernal Master's Prayer to give them +1 strength.
You guys have rolled a 1 for their go first roll.
Yeah, only this time I didn't actually go first turn. Well, best of luck to you.
So it looks like Ash taking the first turn here.
You lose your CP. I have my Dominion pre-game move. So I get my CP.
Yeah, so just noting here that we are in Recover the Relics today. So in order to get your start of turn CP, you need to have a forward deployer on one of the objectives outside your deployment zone. A little bit tough for Thousand Suns. They do have access to forward deploy, but only with Risen Rubrique, which means that they would have to spend CP to then gain CP, which, to be fair, is actually not the worst trade because it's basically a free roll, but only if you actually want to be stuffing Rubric Marines into the center objective here. Otherwise, it just ends up being an even trade. And I'm not sure that Devin cares that much. It looks like we're going to play a relatively passive game from both these players. Devin taking Grind Them Down, which does incentivize him to push a little bit far forward. I'm a little bit worried about him on that one because I think it further reinforces Ash playing a defensive game. So it looks like we're getting our litanies going. Course of Spiritual Fortitude on this Paragon squad, which is going to be taking the front and center. Objective secured on another Paragon squad, Warham as well, from the Dogmata. So if Devin's able to kill more every turn, and the mission also incentivizes that kill more, since both of these players will be getting a point for every unit they kill each battle round up to 3 as the bonus objective. But Ash is going to be taking the opportunity to hide, I think, as much as possible. Because she does have Defend the Shrine as well as Raise the Banners High, so 2 very defensive secondaries that she's going to be able to take advantage of. Well, it says she is pushing a Paragon Warsuit squad across the table. Now, the interesting thing that often happens in this mission is the interaction between going first and the bottom of Battle Round 5 scoring mechanic that the missions in GT Nakmoon before it and now GT Nephilim all have, where the player going second will score at the bottom of Battle Round 5, meaning that in order to get ahead on primary objectives, essentially all they have to do is sit on the objectives in their home deployment zone. Because this mission is laid out with 3 objectives on each side, and it is a hold 1 to score 4, hold 2 to score 8, it's almost impossible to prevent a player from scoring 8 points. You have to take 2 objectives away from them, which ends up being super difficult because oftentimes those objectives are entirely across the table from you. So the game has to really be going in your favor to knock your opponent down below 8 primary objective points every turn. That said, if both players are able to score those 8 points a turn, all Devin has to do on the final round to get to be able to break that stalemate is hold more than his opponent. So at least 2 objectives more than Ash on battle round 5, which means he'd have to either have to kill her off an objective or take one himself and score 4 to 2 or 2 to 3, something like that. That would get him a 12-point primary on the bottom of battle round 5. The difference is that both players are incentivized to take Raise the Banners High because they have 3 objectives that they have easy access to. So with those Raise the Banners High, they can score 3 points a turn pretty easily, and then 3 points at the end of the game because of the end game banners clause, which means that those 2 secondaries should basically blank out. That said, the first player always has a little bit of an advantage in the banner game because the banners go up at the end of the first turn, and then the first player has already had a movement phase when the second player places their banners in order to try to contest the enemy banners and pull them down again. So oftentimes what we see is that the first player will be able to deny banners from the second player for 1 to 2 turns, but on the flip side, the second player will have that bottom of battle round 5 scoring to make up for it. So we often see very close games in this mission, that come down to that end game scoring. Now, it does look like we are going to be playing relatively aggressive here. So we do have the Spiritual Fortitude Paragons pushing up the middle of the table for Ash. We have a unit of Battle Sisters holding down Objective 6, probably placing a banner there. I think we're going to see another unit of Battle Sisters place a banner on Objective 4, as well as the Dominions placing a banner on Objective 5 up here. But I am a little bit worried for Ash in that the amount of damage that Scarab Occult Terminators will be doing to these Paragon Warsuits. And the limited damage that they will be receiving in return. Now, those multi-meltas are certainly scary, chat. Don't get me wrong about that. But the Scarab Occults can sit at 24 inches of a Paragon Warsuit squad and just pick at them. Now, the downside for Devin here is that he is very low on command points, and he can use the Cabal Ritual to gain a CP, which means he could go up to 3, which basically turns on the Scarab Occult Terminator combo of +1 attack and +1 to wound. But being able to get those Paragon Warsuits to winning on 3s, or his Inferno Combi Vultures winning on 3s, between +1 strength and the +1 to wound, as well as the Hellfires, or the Soul Reapers, excuse me, winning on 2s, should probably peel a Paragon Warsuit squad in one shot, with the relatively high AP that we have on those models. And the fact that their -1 damage only matters for the Hellfire Missile Launchers, and the fact that they can't be rerolled against because of the Valor's Heart Detachment ability, actually won't matter in this case, because the 1000 Suns have very limited access to reroll wounds. So interesting stuff. That said, Ash's gameplay is always relatively aggressive. She likes pushing very aggressively forward across the table and banking on those multi-melta shots with full rerolls from Morvenval, plus the mortal wounds that she can do from Ephrailstern and Kaiganil and the Dogmata to be able to push these Scarab Occult Terminator squads. So I think in her head, the arithmetic here is that she can probably lose a Paragon squad to the Terminators and theoretically clip it out on the swing back. I think it depends a lot on what defensive buffs go into that Scarab Occult Terminator squad, but we'll have to see. It is a high volume of attacks from the Paragon Warsuits. They each have a Stormbolter, or 2 Stormbolters, excuse me. So once they get within half range, they're both firing, each of them is firing 8 shots with potentially full rerolls from Morvenval. And winning on 4s with full rerolls is a pretty good profile to have. You don't care about Armor of Contempt, and you don't care about cover shooting at Terminators, because you're just going to force them on their 2+ save. But that's a volume of Stormbolter shooting that probably kills a model.
Reroll, so she does shooting normally. So heavy bolt, we hit 2 1s.
And it's just Morven that can see this spawn, correct?
Yeah. Well, multiple people can see. It's just she's the only one with. Yeah, it's just 2 heavy bolt saves.
Okay, and then after the missiles, that'll be.
It's gonna be a draw, chat.
Oh, okay. You can cover that name, so good.
So it looks like we clipped a line of sight onto the Chaos Spawn because of those huge claws that they have. Looks like this guy was peeking out a little bit too much, and Ash is able to get line of sight. A little unfortunate. I bet Devin could have just spun that guy around and been immune to shooting, but you know, it is what it is. Looks like he's only taking a couple damage as a result of that. Actually, yeah, I think he blanked it. Didn't really matter too much there.
Banners, and
Ash placing banners tokens.
and on to you.
We put a banner on Objective 4 or no?
You don't get your CP. I generate a miracle. It is a 1.
Infernal Master is going to pray for +1 strength guns. Does, it'll go on the red unit. Not going to use the crystal this turn, so
do we want a prediction, chat? I'll do a prediction. We got a rapid fire prediction. Ready? 2 minutes. Let's go. All right, it's up. Get it done. Get those channel points in there. Thanks everyone for tuning in again as well. I know it's a relatively late night stream for a lot of people, but I appreciate you coming and watching. The second stream of the day for T5S2, and we'll have a little bit of a lull after this one until Thursday. But we have a game scheduled Thursday, round 1 game, as well as a round 2 game scheduled Sunday, and a couple other games that are in the open. We're not sure when they're going to happen yet. And then obviously semifinals and finals the weekend after next. Oh, did the prediction not start? Hold up. What? One sec. What happened here? Oh no, it's going. That's weird. Alright, strange.
Rubrics. I'll throw this one rubric up here.
Yeah, we are also, for those who don't know, we are streaming both to Twitch and to YouTube. And if you are in Twitch, you get all sorts of cool benefits. You can use our soundboard. You can bet on the winner. You can get super fun tortoise tokens you can use for cool stuff. It's a good time.
Okay, we can pretend the tentacle is not sticking through the wall.
Eat false gun!
There you go, chat. Perfect. Perfect timing. Jonathan DeLeo loves Psychic Armies, needs to be in the favorite. Would I recommend Thousand Suns or Grey Knights as another Psychic Army? I think Thousand Suns are more... If you're looking for the Psychic phase experience, Thousand Suns are the way to go. Grey Knights are kind of Psychers, I would say largely in name only. They will typically spend their time like casting Smite and, they have a couple support powers and they'll do their Psychic secondaries, but Thousand Suns are entirely predicated on resolving a Psychic phase. And their Psychic phase sequencing is way more interesting than Grey Knights because they have so much more going on.
I have Wahao, but...
I'll just move back inch then.
I mean,
No, they're not advancing.
just move half an inch, it's fine. Like, most of yours are 6.5, which is wild. Yeah, sure.
Because the shaman just has to make sure he stays within 24 pedalic mana, which is right back, guys. Let's go there. We're just making space for the shaman so that he can mentally interrogate you. Shaman's just gonna go into here.
All right, so moving up in range to get our Psychic interrogation going. Interestingly, we do have some relatively low leadership values on the Sororitas characters, being only leadership 8, which means that Devin has a pretty reasonable chance of farming command points off of... Look at this Exalted Sorcerer go, what a boss. Which means that Devin has a reasonably a good chance of farming command points off of his Psychic interrogation. Now, normally that would mean that it's easier to deny, but obviously the Sisters' denies are unique and don't really care about that. And on top of that, Devin is going to be spending Cabal points every turn, I think, to make that Psychic interrogation undeniable, which means he can't rely as much on his other support powers, making those undeniable. He can potentially keep them out of range of denies and kind of spend Cabal points to make them auto-pass, but... it is still going to be a little bit of pain, but that's okay. It's worth it for a couple Cabal points for an easy 15-point secondary, which is pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
And again, that might be another reason that Ash feels obligated to push so far forward, because she knows that Devin is going to just be going up and printing some money with these casters if she doesn't end up engaging. She'd also take no prisoners here, which is going to score pretty highly if she starts to get kills on those Scarab called Terminators and especially the Chaos Spawn. The Chaos Spawn being 4 wounds each are worth 20 wounds for the unit, meaning they give up 2 points by themselves. And each of those Scarab called Terminator units, while they're significantly harder to kill than Chaos Spawn, are worth 3 points. So we're seeing the Exalted Sorcerer move up. He is going to... he has Ether Stride, which I believe lets him fly. So he can hop over the intervening Sandgors. So he's going to try to be casting some nukes onto the Paragon Warsuit squad over here that is not protected by the Course of Spiritual Fortitude. And then we're going to see a Temporal Manipulation to send him back. That's from the other Sorcerer on the other side. Here he is. This little guy just in range of that Exhausted Sorcerer out front. If we need to, we can spend the Cabal points to auto-pass our Temporal Manipulation, and that lets the Ether Stride Sorcerer move again, so he can just hide back behind all the models intervening.
Alright, I'm back. Still not done moving.
I'll just go outside. can deny the Zangor Shaman and the Exalted. These Terminators.
Mhm.
Not that they're casting much. Okay. Psychic Phase. We'll do the Zangor Shaman to start. You will cast Interrogation.
So here comes the interrogation.
It's off and make it undeniable.
Not quite
Okay.
a
Veto, which is
farm.
we'll do
Is
the
it?
Exalted. Start with Doombolt into the Isle Sisters. Goes off with +1.
Alright. Try and deny somebody. No.
3 mortals
At
to
3.
6.
Take 0.
Okay. Smite.
Yeah, the other benefit of Valor's Heart of 5+ gets mortals
goes off
coming out.
+1.
Very nice.
True. You take 3.
Take 0.
Okay.
Jesus.
I think just
Okay.
first one. It's off on a 9.
I mean, I have more denies that I can
More than I
reach.
actually know what to do with.
Yeah, so the Zangor Shaman
Put it
dropping
into
the lowest
answer.
d6 when
Okay.
casting. So
Nice.
needs to roll a natural 7 plus
Okay,
1
nice.
to farm command points, and ended up getting a 6. So
0.
unfortunately didn't farm command points, but got the interrogation.
Wow. Okay.
And Ash has
I mean,
made
I'm rolling-
every single damage ignore roll?
Physically
Okay.
the same dice as you are.
I know. It's
Jesus.
not being very helpful. That's fine though. Cancel. And oh, and I did banners on all 3 objectives. I think I said it.
Yep.
Rubrics, and Signals.
Yeah. Not gonna guarantee you on stupid things like that.
We'll do the Baby Sork. I'll autocast Facade.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually just going to facade this guy back? That's fair.
Facade.
Lets him go a little bit farther.
Because I have the Prism Echoes.
Oh. Okay.
Doubles the range of blessings. It's just gonna hang out back here.
So doesn't necessarily need that Ether Stride,
Sport time.
but gets him to move a little bit farther than the normal Surge.
Just gonna give them all line of sight to these guys. I'm just here. I still want to be able to see you. Actually, if you're rotating that, good. That's sticking out. And then they'll just be all of the 30 expect.
So lining up a shot onto the
Well,
mortifiers
30.
with our Empiric Guidance.
Excellent. Green will put +6 range on themselves.
There's the Empiric
They do.
Guidance going off. Get extra range.
No one's in range.
That line of sight's a little bit hokey to that model. Actually, I
Funnel
guess
Master
we
will
have,
put Glamour on the red unit.
Missile Racks that can shoot her.
Yes. Armon will do Presage on red. Does. Weaver. Yeah, that will go on to Teal.
Okay.
Presages on that. Mr. Powers, Death Hex is not range of Smite. Everybody else is either Damn Matter or is already cast it. Sounds like you're done shooting. Red's just gonna go ahead and dump everything into Paragon unit number 2.
Okay.
So here it is. Do we see any strats popped here?
32 Stormbolter shots sitting on 2s.
Looks like
Threes.
we're not.
They have +1 hits out.
it's a psychic ability. They are immune to psychic.
I thought that was only when you were doing things to me. Like, you would ignore glamour.
No, it says each time a unit is selected to fight, if it is under the effects of any psychic powers that affect its attacks, then none of those rules apply when resolving attacks that target a unit that cannot be affected by psychic powers.
Yeah. In that case, then I'll just shoot the other card on you. That's cool. So I can try to, except for one guy who's not in range, he'll have to shoot out. That's fine.
Well,
Yeah, but awkward. I actually really don't like that rule.
So the two will shoot two, the other one's a shoot card.
I think that one sort of flew under the radar after the extended engagement rule, but it was it's kind of an obnoxious change, I think, more than it was an actually impactful one. Certainly less widespread effects than the extended engagement range, but definitely I think one that's going to catch people out, which it basically is here. But that does force Devin to target the Paragon Warsuit squad that's farther back, which does mean that we have an easier charge from the closer Paragon Warsuit squad, which is certainly going to not be beneficial for Devin.
Terribly, lose one and most of the others.
So it looks like, yeah, almost clipped 2 Paragon Warsuits with just the Stormbolters.
Sororitas.
Here comes the cannons. Ooh, bad wound roll, though.
5-3.
Oh my gosh! Chat, these saves! What is happening right now? 5 out of 5 saves against the Soul Reaper cannons.
And I'll take it 4 and pass the other one.
Oh my god, and then the Miracle Ice against the missile racks. Oh! That's a heartbreaker right there. I think 9 times out of 10 that unit probably goes down. Although, to be fair, Devin didn't really have command points to spend on his offensive strats, so he was wounding slightly less well than he would be. Throwing a couple of additional shots into the other Paragons, looks like.
No,
the loaded digital dice, I know, yeah. Yeah, the loaded digital dice that these players are using using a single dice box, too. That's the kicker. I do think Ash has some sort of... There's some power of the Emperor that she is using to influence control over the dice box, because Ash does oftentimes have very good dice.
Yeah, take it on the Anchorite, so 4 ups. 4 up. 5 up piano pin. God. 2 damage.
Sword for cannons.
So blinking a couple damage into the Mortifier squad as well. I'm not really sure that this is enough damage this turn.
83s.
Smack back. 5 up.
I think I would have liked to have seen Devin
5 ups.
turn a gun onto these Battle Sisters on Objective 4.
5 up.
Despite the fact that they're not really contributing to the game right now, they are just an easy way to hold that objective. Although, obviously, Paragon Warsuits will be able to move over there. They do contribute objective security. Thank you, chat. Without the Dogmata having to point at the objective. And so peeling them would be good. We finally killed the Anchorite out of that unit. Obviously, Armor of Contempt plus a 3+ save makes them relatively resilient. And then a 5+ damage ignore on top of that.
2 2s.
Just roll 6s all the time. It's true, chat.
And damage.
That's the easiest way to win games of Warhammer 40,000, I've heard.
1.
Right, Flail takes the damage. Once I find it. Alright, found it.
So now, to be fair with all of that, we do have the Terminators entirely on the terrain here, which means they do benefit from set to defend, potentially, if the Paragons want to come in, which may mean they can chip a Paragon Warsuit on the way in, depending. But we also have Ephrael and Kaiganel moving up into range, and we're going to probably be in range with the Mortifiers as well. It would have felt much better for Devin if he had peeled a Warsuit unit. But I think Ash's targeting of Course of Spiritual Fortitude was very appropriate, because she targeted the Paragon Warsuit squad that was the most dangerous with that. Which is always essentially going to happen, because she typically has to put it on the squad that's farthest forward.
This goes on the Stormbolters.
in order to make it block any closest visible style psychic powers.
Yeah, goes on Stormbolters. Spiritual Fortitude. Don't want to roll for this. No, I'll just spend 1 CP.
Yeah, gonna burn a CP to auto pass the Spiritual Fortitude. Not worth rolling for that one. This turn's gonna be super impactful. If Ash doesn't get the Course of Spiritual Fortitude off, there's a non-zero chance she loses a Paragon Warsuit's God to a billion mortal wounds. As we saw in Devin's first game, he was able to peel down probably 15 to 20 mortal wounds in the Psychic phase easily out of this list. So punching through a 5+ damage ignore, no problem. So looks like we are going to be maybe angling the Mortifiers for a charge into the Zongors. Mortifiers will deal significant damage to them, especially with their flails that double their attacks. But I don't know if they have enough to kill the entire unit. And the Mortifiers themselves are not objective secured, so they would not be holding the objective. They would just be there to kill models. Although killing the Zongors is still pretty useful for Ash, because she does get no prisoners points from it.
Right.
6s on morale checks wouldn't be too bad, right? Because you would automatically pass all of your combat attrition, right? So you would fail every morale check, but you would get you would only lose the initial model, right? So it would be okay. That'd be fine. 1,000 on Psychic phase would be pretty brutal if they roll 6 all the time. It would be brutal for both players, right? All of their spells would go off undeniably on 12s, but also every one of their casters would die by like turn 2. They get the one guy who can ignore a perils once per round for a CP, right? And then everyone else just eats D3 mortals every time. So we put full rerolls on the Dominion, the Stormbolter Dominions here. So we're going to use the Artificer, the Stormbolter stratagem here to deal mortal wounds, to automatically convert our damage rolls into the Scarab Occults. All the buffs in this Paragon squad, and for Miracle Dice, 2 1s, because we already used our 4. So unfortunately, so far, no good Miracle charges. We're just going to have to raw dog some charges. But Ephrael Kaiganil, pretty good at fighting the Scarab Occults, because Ephrael does ignore their invulnerable save with a 2 damage weapon, so she also ignores all his dust, which is useful. We can deal mortal wounds with the Dominions, mortal wounds with the Dogmata, potentially if they're in range, and mortal wounds with Ephrael. Plus all of his multi-melta shooting that's about to go in.
Sure.
Now I'm a little bit worried if Ash's plan is to hold the backline of this objective with the Missionary. She may actually end up being open to some Sorceress Facading. We could Umbralific Crystal one of the Scarab Occult Terminator units into the back corner, and use that to clip out the Battle Sister squad, and then potentially get mortal wounds from either the Scarab Occults or a character into the Missionary. And if we kill the Missionary and pop those 2 objectives, we could knock Ash down to a 4-point primary turn. Although, to be fair, that's a wild overcommittal, so I don't know if Devin would want to do that. Takes a Relic and a Psychic Power, and probably a character plus a Scarab Occult unit, and you're opening up those units without the defense of the remainder of the army.
No Psychic, but Pseudo Psychic. We're gonna stun, so stun does a thing. It goes off for D3 mortal wounds. 2 mortal wounds on your Terminators. Okay. Right, so we start with the Mortifiers shooting their shots. 2 of them, I believe, are in range. Right, so
Ephrael's turn. Getting a +2 bonus to Caster's Might when she's near Chaos units,
11.
which means it does go off on not double 1s instead of the normal 5+.
8 1-up. Sorry, 8 2-ups.
2 ups. That's why.
Okay, that was not what I was expecting at all.
Sure.
12 of the ones at the back. Yes. Yes. No, but really close. All right. Paragon Squad 3 is going to shoot everything at the Terminators.
Yep.
So 12 Stormbolter shots.
-1.
4s, rerolling 1s. And 4s, rerolling 1s.
So the
6s.
Yeah.
the question in chat about Wrath of Magnus. Wrath of Magnus isn't
no,
unlocked
yeah.
because the Sororitas army doesn't have any
That's that
actual
one guy.
psychers. They just have fake psychers.
Multi-melter shots.
So
5 hits. 5
no,
wounds.
no Abhor, no Wrath of Magnus. Obviously, no Abhor. Obviously, but it does unlock Abhor for
Armor gets under
Ash, but
right,
she's likely
yeah.
to take no prisoners instead.
Of course.
Alright, so
First.
kills 1, kills 2, kills 3, and leaves 2 damage.
So big damage coming out of these Meltas. Oof. 5 Scarab Cults dead already.
Oh, this is not good.
Next Paragon Squad, which is the injured squad, is going to shoot them. Still not in range, so 8 Stormbolter shots. Rerolling 1s. One two up.
$10 says I failed us. We're good, actually. Awesome.
Alright, and well, now you owe me $10.
I mean, it's 10 Canadian dollars. It's basically worthless.
2 Melta saves.
Okay,
So that kills that one guy. Alright.
6 Terminators down.
Squad in front is just gonna dump everything into them. So that was the multi-meltas.
Sure.
No, I don't need this. Wait, I'll spend 1 CP for +1 to hit.
Okay.
So on 2 rolling.
Yeah, it is
Plus 8.
surprisingly good shooting here from the Sororitas army chat. I mean, when you have 18 Melta shots coming out of the Paragon Warsuits, that's pretty appropriate. And I think Devin was probably rightly expecting to have killed more of them. Oh my god, look at these saving throws, chat. Oh my god.
And then 20 Stormbolter shot.
5 failed save. Was that 4 failed saves out of 5 on the Scarab Cults? This unit's just gonna get vaporized before the charge phase. Oh no. Well, I was excited to see how these Scarab Cults mashed up with the Paragon Warsuits. I guess the answer is terribly, just awful. A lot of it, I think, is comes down to the fact that Devin did not have the command points because of the lack of Thousand Suns forward deploy in this mission to fuel the full wombo combo from the Scarab Cults. So they couldn't deal as much damage as he'd like to. But also, we saw some insane saving throws from Ash. I think most of the time we would have seen at least 1 full unit of Paragons get removed between the psychic powers and the shooting. But Ash's dice said no.
Yeah, it's 2 mortal ones already. He's dead. Sorry, I spent 1 CP for Blessed Work.
Yeah, Val hasn't even pushed the.
And then the remaining 6 shots.
She didn't even buff the Paragon Warsuits that turn. That wasn't even full reroll Paragon Warsuits. That was just normal reroll. And a bunch of 1s from Devin on top of that. So this is the mortal wounds from the Dominion's Stormbolters shooting. We're just gonna peel the guys off objective 3, so there's no easy charges for Ash. There is still a banner active there for Devin, but we would have to see a charge from Ephraim Kaiganel, which is a little bit awkward. They could use 2-inch engagement to get in potentially, but it's a little tough.
That'd be nice. Oh, there's 1.
It was just 4 mortal ones, not 6. Because I already did 2.
Oh.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah, so you can just take that guy.
Okay, so then that guy's actually dead. Okay, we're good
Yeah.
then.
No actual difference with the play. It's just yeah, the sequence is. And then one bolter shot from the superior. Hits. It doesn't wound, but she gets 4 rerolls now. Yeah, that's all my shooting. I generate a miracle for 6.
Simply 4 6 there. Holy crap.
It was a lot of shooting. Can Val get line of sight on anyone? That's worth shooting. She can shoot the spawn. Yes, she can see his tentacle. Okay, so she can shoot.
Now, downside here, chat, for Devin is that
Yeah. No, that's it.
a lot of the beef that he has on the table is in these Chaos Spawn, and I don't believe the Chaos Spawn match up well at all against the Paragons. Mainly because they have a 2 damage weapon, and one of their potential mutations is reroll wound rolls, which you cannot do against Valorous Heart, and the 2 damage weapons is going to get halved against the Paragon Warsuits. They can push for AP4, which is pretty good against them. Punches through their Armor of Contempt, puts them on a 5-up. But at only 1 damage, they'd have to convert immensely in order to actually be able to kill too many models. So we do have Ephrael and Stern charging. It looks like the Mortifiers over here on Objective 4 have failed. Ephrael and Stern need a big number over here to charge, and I don't believe that we have enough. Oh, we have a 6.
Yeah, you're within
So we could 6 it and then roll.
11.4.
Yeah.
So it should be.
It's a 10. Yeah, it's a 10. Alright, she fails, and then these modifiers will try and charge.
So Ephrael and Kaiganil fail, which does open them up. We could see them get removed by Psychic Powers now, because they're now in front of the Paragon Warsuit with the Chorus of Spiritual Fortitude. I almost wonder if these Chaos Spawn push out and just get into the Dominions and try to kill them and take the objective from the Missionary. And then if we see a drop somewhere else to try to clear these Battle Sisters out on Objective 6, we could still see that both of those objectives get cut down. I don't know if it's enough to stop the endless forward momentum that this Sororitas army has right now, but we'll see. There is a potential for a good turn here for Devin, although losing a Scarabacol Terminator squad, I won't lie to you, chat, is very difficult to come back from. And it would not entirely shock me if it was all downhill from here for Devin.
Crystal this turn? I have a choice. No. Just from the crystal. The crystal Terminators. So we'll come back in a second.
The suits are 80 points a model, chat. So 240 for the unit.
Alrighty. Well, that was suitably terrible.
So we are going to crystal the Scarabacults. So give them a nice teleport.
I have more than enough anti-heavy with this 1000-point brick in the middle.
Yeah.
Heavy flavors fill up a very empty nation.
There are only 2 units of rubrics, chat. One of them's already been laid low by the Dominion Stormbolters. So there's 7 rubric marines. A lot of the beef on the table remaining for Devin is his Chaos Spawn. And like what we're just saying, I don't think the Chaos Spawn are particularly useful in this matchup. He really needed the rubrics to not flub as hard as they did.
Well, we're going to try and deal with it, so... Stern's up -1 damage in melee, really weird like that.
Shine, 3 for banners. I killed 1 unit, so that's 1 for recover the relics. Yeah. And can count no prisoners later.
Yeah, on the plus side, Devin will get 3 points for his banners since Ash couldn't charge onto the objectives. That's something.
Alright.
You just have the missionary back here on this objective?
Yeah, just him. That's why I said you're free to teleport there and shoot the living shit out of him if you really want.
I don't really want to be honest. Modifiers. I'll just line me up and kill me. That's pointless. I don't know if you're trying to mortal win the Paragons is a better idea, or trying to just kill the Mortal is a better idea. Making the Mortifiers less scary is probably the least terrible option I have available to me. There. Just don't want him getting denied. Perfect. There we go. Exalted will advance 10. Shaman's good where he is. The spawn are just going to fuck themselves in the corner. This guy's just going to walk on over here.
You move that spawn so it's not poking through the wall.
Oh, yes, thank you.
No worries. If it's not the finals, I'm not gonna pull that shit on you. If it is the finals, then big money makes my morals go sad.
I'm pretty sure he wins. Losing that whole Terminator unit should not have happened. That's what it is. We just have to shoot the crap out of you real fast. Okay. You guys get to come back. The wonderful world of charging Paragons, and just how bloody pointless it is. We're ready for 2 damage melee weapons into...
How many points at the Terminator squad? That's a good question. The 3 Paragon squads alone, I guess one of the Paragons was dead, right? So that... they're like... 720? 640? Plus Morven, 2 smites, the Dominion squad.
Yeah, that's only on my...
Or I think maybe just 1 smite. I think the Big Motto was out of range. Or it certainly was, yeah. Just that real smite. So like... Yeah, depending on how you value Morven, I guess, probably close to 1,000 points.
You're gonna charge me if you want.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. They were saving on... I mean, the downside there was that I think most of the time the converted attacks killed the Terminators. They were glamored, so a lot of those attacks were firing through -1 to hit. So you're firing 16 melty shots with -1 to hit, but rerolling 1, so you probably get... what, probably 9 or 10 through. But then they're winning on 2s, and every converted one probably kills a Terminator. And the Terminators are only saving on 4s, thanks to Armor of Contempt plus cover.
And you get your CP.
So, assuming you convert like all 9, That probably kills 5. This might kills another one. The Dominions can full reroll into killing a bunch more. So I think it's not unlikely that the Scared Cult Terminator squad does get killed there, but I think Devin was hoping for more. And then you have, although Morven Fall's attacks don't do too much because they're saving on 2s against her. You have her shots to get piled in there.
Yep.
Which one?
And then also the Storm Bolters, like we talked about, where the Storm Bolters can just put enough shots through that they can probably pick up a Scarab Cult just by themselves.
They know.
But I think Devin's just going to go aggro now, which makes a ton of sense, and hope for the best, which I think is the correct play.
Is off.
I don't think I have anything else. Well, no, I do. I have 1 Paragon Squad. It goes off.
Take 1 mortal wound.
Oh my god, go ahead. Alright, take 1 mortal wound.
Nature's Firestorm. Goes off on a 10.
The other Paragon Squad. Oh, does this box? Oh, it goes off. Just flipping the ones that have roll.
2 mortals into the mortifiers.
Take 1.
Do the sorcerer's gonna cast Warp Time on Zangors, which he does. He's at a denial whichever one.
Yep.
So a Surge on the Zangors puts them to objective 4. Probably see a charge into the Battle Sisters. I don't think we see a charge in the Mortifiers. The Flamers would cook the unit, probably.
Not gonna charge those things, because that's a good way to lose control units every Flamer Overwatch.
Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that we're co-commentating together. But we'll go to the Battle Sisters, kill the OBSEC on that objective to pull the primaries. Devin did get 8 primary this turn and 3 banners. Yeah, he got his banners, but he didn't get his primaries. There you go.
Exalted Sorcerer is going to cast Glamour.
So Devin can play a super smart scenario game, although he has to clear 2 objectives for it to make a difference.
That guy.
Oh, I thought you. Oh yeah, you said Exalted.
Clearing a single objective only breaks a banner, which isn't that big of a deal.
No, they can't, but the Palatine will have that.
Oh, okay, I understood. Palatine. That's fine.
I wonder if
Kagana
he goes for the missionary with a facade.
Oh.
It's kind of what I would expect,
wrong
but
ability,
it does open up the
just
sorcerer that commits in to get hit by the mortifiers in the top, which would be a little bit awkward. I think there's a position here where we can stand somewhere over here and block his own line of sight to the Paragons and hit the missionary with mortal wounds. I believe that's the only model on Ash's objective, so that would clear it. But I guess the other option is that we just do it with Chaos Spawn. That works too.
Fails. Try again.
The models, Ash just noted, chat, the models are getting turns upside down when they use their deny. So that we're going to, it's a way for Ash to keep track of which units can roll their 6-up to stop powers.
We all done? Oh no.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, this guy doesn't have anything. This guy could have on a curse.
So not leveling with mortal wounds
doesn't care about it.
this turn. We did do a little bit to the modifiers. Would have loved to have tried to kill Ephraim Kaiganel.
Goes off.
But
What does that do?
Last one strength to your shooting.
Okay, I will try and deny it with something at the back. And it's denied. No attack with the modifiers.
I'll do this little sword. I'll do Desecration of Worlds. And now I'm done. Okay, shooting. Green's gonna dump everything into the messed up unit of the Paragons.
Let me flip everything back up. I'll roll.
Stormholders. Twos. 4s. 14 3-ups to them.
kill 1, take 3.
Soul Reapers.
So firing into the wounded Paragon squad. It's going to take 2 shots from a Scarab Occult unit to kill these ladies.
4 ups, I guess.
A little sad.
He's dead.
And there goes the
Squad's
Paragon
dead.
Warsuit.
That's the important thing. Teal. Just shoot the unit that has the psychic protection.
Yeah.
It matters. Bolters. So I'll do that. Nice. 1 3 up.
Okay.
Soul Reaper. Got 3 of these.
Take 2.
1 damage each.
Yep.
Right, unless you charge phase. Do the Zangors will charge the Battle Sister.
I thought they can't charge after.
Chaos Ring 1 time, you can't charge after. The Thousand Suns 1, you can.
Oh.
Can
Yes.
confirm.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't start doing that until the Eldar book with Quicken.
Alright.
They changed, to be fair, they changed
So that'll
Temporal
be
Core.
5.3, so it'll be a 4-inch
Those
charge.
poor Space Marines, chat. Temporal Corridor got nerfed to block charging too. One of the worst things to happen in Warhammer 40,000. I would roll back to 8th edition just to stop that change from happening. So here we go. Gorgeous. What a gorgeous bubble that we're drawing here. Yeah, it was perfect. Songor's pushing forward. Did get a 9-inch charge. Yeah, I wonder if Devin could push to contest that objective too. That would be a big deal. Dropping Ash down to a 0-point primary would be huge. That pile and consolidate looks like it's going to be awkward, but we could potentially orbit around the side of these models and get closer here and then go this way. Looks a little tough though. And we also have to actually kill the Battle Sisters, and the Songors tend to be kind of, unless they have all the buffs on them, they're a little bit awkward at fighting. Only 4+ weapon skill. But I don't know. There's the off chance that they swing high and murder everyone. That would be nice. James Bishop doesn't know what they want. It's true, chat. Should you charge after double moving? I don't know. Maybe. At least give it to Reavers, though. Am I right, chat? Like, you can take it away from the, you know, the Howling Banshees and Shining Spears and the whatever Chaos Space Marine was casting Warp Time on to charge with. I guess, like, it was Lord's Discordant for a while, if I remember correctly. Here comes the spawn charge. 11 inches on the spawn charge. Go get them, boys. Yeah, just don't run into a Frail Stark and Kaiganil. But we do need to kill these Dominions. And we probably have to spend for the selected mutation on the spawn. I don't think we're allowed to pick to roll randomly. The random roll could go very poorly. You get reroll wounds here, and it's pretty awkward. Give it to Land Raiders only. Warp time. The unit makes a normal move or advance, but cannot charge after doing so. Parentheses, except Land Raiders. I'm in, chat. Let's do it. So only one model on Objective 6 here. And out of range of the Dogmata. One thing that the Dogmata does unlock for Sisters is the ability to contribute additional objective secured models out of sequence during the command phase, which means that they could become double objective secured in the at the start of the command phase, which means by the end of the command phase you would retain control of the objective. But currently there's only one model there. 2 Zongors getting in on this objective would break the banner. One model would at least contest 4 points of primary. And we're hoping here that we're going to see a pile in from the Chaos Spawn this way, stay outside of Ephriel and Kaiganil's melee range, but potentially get ourselves into a position where we can kill these models and then orbit at least one guy towards probably the mortifiers in order to contest this objective too. So if everything goes well for Devin here, he will be able to knock Ash down to a 0-point primary. So unfortunate that he lost the entire the Rubric Marine unit, or the Scarab Occult unit, excuse me. But still making plays. I actually really like this push from Devin. He's also probably going to force a lot of the ancillary attacks that Ash has into the Zongors. Now, to be fair, the Paragon Warsuits will just probably pick most of them up with Stormbolter shooting. And the Mortifiers don't really have anything else, anywhere else to go with their Flamers. So it's not like the Zongors are like making a huge difference here. But there is a potential that a couple of them could survive and contribute to objectives secured. So Ash has to turn around some assets to actually go kill them. If she kills all of the models outside of the ruin early in the shooting phase, we could be left with a couple of models inside the ruin for Devin, and those models could create problems for Ash later on if they are allowed to survive. So here, is this Zongor swinging? 15 saves on the Battle Sisters. All right, girls, what do you got?
3 ups. Who did?
Only 2 from the first 10.
Yeah,
That's
offset,
unfortunate.
right?
They are awesome.
Okay. So, time to me. 3 ups. 3 ups. And 3 up. So, 1 more dice. So, no way you're getting onto that.
I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Like,
I think, as is to be expected, though, only AP1 on the Zongors means they're mostly worthless at fighting, except for being just bodies. Unless there's a way we can orbit a guy, which doesn't look like there is. Yeah, I think he's tethered.
I have to kill one.
That sucks. That sucks for Devin, but he will still drop Ash down to probably a 4-pointer.
Because if I was able to flip all 3 of them, sadly, I'm just gonna wrap.
Yeah, if you can execute a tri-point here, force Ash to burn all of her CP, or at least most of her remaining CP on a desperate breakout, that's not too bad.
Move. Are you going to interrupt?
Wisdom minions? No.
Don't think so. Always worth task.
I actually wonder if the interrupt is correct here, although it would have cost 2 CP. That's probably too many. But what that could do for Ash is allow the Dominions to move in and base all the Chaos Spawn. And I believe what that would end up doing is actually tether this one to this Mortifier, which means the Chaos Spawn would have to orbit the Mortifier with its Consolidate move, assuming that all of the Dominions died, because it wouldn't get... no models in the unit would get a pile in, theoretically, to make the first half of their movement. So it looks like right now... I'm not really sure what we're measuring here. I'm actually wondering if we do get on this objective. Looks a little hairy, actually, now. Because most of these models are going to have to move towards Ephriel Stern. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, chat. Is this a fumble? Did we fumble this turn right here?
So 15, 16, 17, 19, 21, 23 attacks.
Wait, no, it's D3, right? Yeah.
It's D3 each. 23 attacks, hitting on 4s. Always end up missing a bunch of them. 6 impulse.
Right. Flip time again. 3 dead. 4 dead. 5. Wow. All dead. I just rolled 5 ones in a row.
Well, it had to happen at some point. I know Devin does know how that feels. So, yeah, the question mark here is whether or not we can get this Chaos Spawn onto the objective right now. And I'm not entirely sure that it can happen. That was a perfectly timed womp womp, chat. Pascal, thank you for the womp womp. Yeah, I think I think that was a fumble of a combat phase movement. I'm not sure that there was a way that Devin actually converts that. I think he needed to actually just kill Ephriel's turn, which would have been tough. She does have a 5+ ignore. And it looks like he didn't quite have the psychic phase in the models in the correct place to actually deal with her. But it looks like Ash will still be on an 8 for primary, which means the Zongor sacrifice is in vain this turn, besides breaking a banner. Oh, no. This is going very poorly for our Thousand Suns heroes here, chat. Yeah. Oh, boy. All right. Well, I think Devin's at the cross your fingers and hope for the best phase of the game. Maybe he makes every single save on the Scarab Occults. Maybe that happens. You never know. You know? You don't know. Could happen.
Okay. Command phase. Dogmata will do a Prayer of Smite. It goes off, three Zangors die. Palatine will spend a 4 for a...
Xeno spotted. Eat bolt gun. HEEEYAAAH. Womp womp womp. WOOOOOMP.
RoboShark, thanks for the resub. Perfect text-to-speech. I love it.
Psychic immunity goes away. Want to spend that CP, unfortunately.
Xeno spotted. Eat bolt gun. HEEEYAAAH. Womp womp womp. WOOOOOMP.
Alright.
Tom Sawyer lost your channel points at Custodes? Oh, no.
This should go here.
I'm sorry. You'll just have to watch more to get more back so he can make funny noises again.
Yeah.
That's the only...
It does go on the points. Okay. Yes. Okay. Multipliers. Looking at the therapy paint line, 2.5, 5.5. Yeah. Knocking off your banner.
The bolt gun meta, the eat bolt gun meta has sucked everyone's channel points away. Oh no. What will you do? You know, chat, I heard down the grapevine you get channel points by subscribing. Just a little bit of a hint there.
Eat bolt gun!
There you go, Shimon. Thank you.
Either of them die, one of them dies.
So we are gonna... Perfect. We are gonna resolve a desperate breakout on the Sister Superior. Or on the Battle Sisters, excuse me. So they are gonna be... The Zongors are gonna be able to be shot. It does eat most of the Sororitas command points. Though Ash does have a 6 and a 4 for Miracle Dice, plus 2 1s that she can use on morale checks. Or for Moment of Graces, although her options for Moment of Grace are a little bit low right now.
Palatine will advance. I will take a 6.
Eat bolt gun!
We did have some really good soundboard memes
Dino spotted.
in the meme invitational channel over in the Discord chat. I really appreciate that the new meme channel over in T5S2 general, or near T5S2 in the T5S2 section. There's been a lot of good stuff in there from this invitational tournament. I highly recommend you go check it out if you're on the server.
I mean, if you'd like to keep your know-it-all thing and not use it, that's fine.
Eat bolt gun!
There is, to be fair, this is probably the most bolt gunning that we're going to be seeing, potentially all invitational. There are so many storm bolters in this game that it is, and actually just regular bolt guns on the Battle Sisters. It's pretty impressive.
something Arcane Astartes and Zangors. And they're Heretic Astartes without Arcane Astartes. It's really weird.
Paragons within 6 of this missionary who is not moving.
They're missing a keyword. They can.
It is a bolt gun buffet, chat. Absolutely.
2 to 1 inches.
Oh, a Wilhelm scream sound alert. That'd be good.
Started here.
I know they're having some good suggestions for sound alerts.
8.
I probably need to add some more. Although I think we're close to or at our limit right now. I can't add any more free ones. I know that. The other ones you have to share bits for.
Stops there. Okay. I think that's everyone I want to have moved. Shooting. These 3 multipliers will shoot these angles.
Yeah.
So that is 29 shots. On 3s.
So firing the mortifiers first into the Zongors. Oh my god.
23 saves.
Don't worry, Zongors. You'll be fine. No, they are not fine.
2 left.
Yeah, I think that leaves almost all of the unit dead. Potentially enough to just get murked by these Battle Sisters over here.
Okay. Well, you
They can
decide
literally
on
feed
that.
them bulk on chat.
Oh, good. Sorry, Dragonel and stuns nonsense into your spawn. Goes off for 1 mortal one. Spawn take 1. These Battle Sisters will shoot the Zangors. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots. On 3s and 4s. 4 saves. Right.
Boston's not like me today.
Other squad of Mortifiers shoots your spawn. So that is 8d6 for 21. And wounding on 3s.
Or are you strength 6?
Yeah, strength 6.
Oh, you're strength 6.
And I blocked Gecko Demon.
Yes, I saw it.
Kill 2. Okay. Right. What else is there? Paragons at the front. Full rerolls. Everything going into the Terminators.
Yeah.
Everything going into the Terminators, starting with the Meltas. Pause, rerolling.
All right. Here's the moment of truth, chat.
And 2s.
Diving everything onto the
Rolling.
Scarab Occults.
4 saves.
Survive.
We did. And the
No,
Bolters.
not surviving. And then here's where mass eat bolt gun with full rerolls
I am missing a shot.
gets a lot of work done.
Pause. 4 rerolls. 18 2-ups.
Eat bolt gun!
Perfect, chat. Thank you. That is what they're doing. They're currently eating bolt gun. Yep. There's a Scarab Occult Terminator removed just from the 2+
Guys at
saves
the
there.
back shoot
The
their,
volume of fire.
Eat bolt gun!
Meltas at the
Yeah!
Terminators, Bolters at the Chaos Spawn.
Yeah.
So Chaos Spawn. Leave are all within
Eat
12.
Bolt's gun!
3s, rerolling 1s.
Eat Bolt's gun!
5s, rerolling 1. Eight stays on the spawn.
We stand ready.
Looks like a spawn goes down.
Eat Bolt's gun!
Damage carrying over.
Oh, and the
From even more
Meltas,
damage.
then Melta shots. Go 1. 8 on 2s. 2 saves on your Terminators. You're good.
That's true, chat. Variety in the
And
soundboard
the
is the spice of
Morven
life.
just
I have
puts
heard that.
all her shots to the Terminator.
Devin is unfortunately flipping his table right
Rocket
now.
into the Terminators, Bolter into the spawn next to her. So Bolters.
So Chaos Spawn's still alive, but they will probably get picked up pretty quickly from the
Legs
Mortifiers here.
killing
Still
me.
6 Scarab Occult Terminators in the unit.
2
We
ones
can
on the
heal a couple
spawn.
back, potentially. The downside here, though, is that the
And
defensive
then the
profiles of
rocket
these
one.
Paragon Warsuits does sort of require that they get killed in shooting. Because the Scarab Occult Terminators rely a lot on the 2 damage on their Kopeshes. Although they are Strength 5 AP3, which is a pretty okay profile to attack a Paragon Warsuit with. So it forces them to a 4+ save, excuse me. But obviously, being reduced down to 1 damage means that the limited number of attacks on Scarab Occult Terminator is going to be pretty sad for them.
Charges. Paganel and Stun will charge these rubrics. Three. I think it was in 5. They are, but you will have to cross. No, you are was into a pitch.
Okay.
What is the record of consecutive eat bullet guns? That's a great question, chat.
Oh,
I do not know.
is this worth a reroll? Not really. Multipliers into the spawn. I don't think I need to roll, but yeah, 9. Click around a bit. Okay. These paragons are going to charge the spawn. The ones at the back. Need an 8 probably. Like a 7. Is this was into? Oh. Oh, I went straight up. Yeah. Yeah, it's within 2. Alright, so I need a 7. They make it.
So Paragon's into the spawn. Got that 2-inch engagement fighting through the wall. And they are not obsect from the Dogmata. But I believe there's only 2 models on the objective, which means that with a pile and consolidate, they may be able to take it.
11.
Or just
11,
takesy
I'll just
backsies
go
over here. Alright, fair enough.
Change 3, 2.5, 4, and other way. Let's go with it. Tagging that back to spawn. These paragons, sorry, the multipliers are trying to charge the spawn as well. And 8. No. Yep, just out. And then these paragons are trying to charge the Terminators. I will take a 10.
So auto passing a charge from the OBSEC
themselves
Paragons onto the objective. That shouldn't change control of the objective because the Rubric Marines will maintain it. So currently, We are cutting Devin, excuse me, from
And then I
objective
think for
3
safety, Morven is gonna
with
try and
Ephrael and
spawn.
Kaiganel, but it looks unlikely we're going to be able to stop control of objective
Doesn't
2
quite-
over here.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Palatine points at the Chaos Spawn they fight last.
Sure.
So Word of the Emperor triggering there.
I'm gonna
Also
go with
reducing the
Paragon
toughness
Toss.
of the Chaos Bond by 1 because of that Casket of Penance. Which is a pretty big deal because of the Strength 6 on the Paragon's Warblades means that
Yes, maybe.
it actually doesn't make it a big difference. Now that I'm thinking about it. Just kidding, chat. It does nothing. It means that they go from winning on 3s to still winning on 3s.
You go around.
But if you were toughness 4, that would be a pretty big deal. But the spawn are toughness 5, so who cares?
When you spend CP. Yeah, I guess. I want CP for +1 to hit.
Sure.
One of the 3 ways I can get +1 to hit against Psychos with them.
You know, Wise Man and
but
previous
in-
T5S2 Invitationalist did say one time that as long as you have an invulnerable save, the game's not over. But we'll see. If we see a total flub from these Paragon Warsuits here, it could be okay. They are big AP3, reduced down to AP2, so on a 4+ save. That wasn't the worst thing ever. 3 Terminators die. Still probably not good enough.
And we will try point the sorcerer for all as well. Okay, would you like to interrupt?
Not really.
Okay, multipliers fight the Chaos Spawn. One, so that is 20 with the flail first.
And downside here for these Chaos Spawn is that they would interrupt but not have any CP to buff their attacks. So they would just be flailing a little bit at the Mortifiers. And even if the Mortifiers can reflect damage back, they have a fight on death mechanic. Which means that even if the Chaos Spawn do kill them, they'd probably remove the Chaos Spawn regardless. So there's the Chaos Spawn down. Yeah, 1 down to 1. Buzzsaw's converting. Yeah. Just a casual 6 more. Don't worry, buddy. You'll be fine. Yep, he's dead. Does have a 4+ from Weaver Fates, but that's not going to do it. Too many attacks from those Mortifiers. And we're over to the fight on these Chaos Spawn. Hopefully these Paragons don't go too ham on them, but we'll see.
What's up? Yeah. My immediate for Tango Shaman, nope. Yep. Okay, so all swings into the spawn, 13 attacks. Thing on 3s, no rerolls, 1 explosion, and 1 thing on 3s. 7 AP3s, so AP2, so it should go straight through, so it should kill 3.
Kill 2.
7, so that's 3 and 1 takes 2.
Oh, that's sad.
And let's get 1.3, 1.3, 1.4. Take your.
Not much that Chaos Spawn can do there, really, though. They don't really, unless they're buffed up, they don't have any saves. But they're just paying for being beefy wound stacks for pretty cheap.
Oh, no, there's an exalted sorcerer there. Never mind.
There is an exalted.
I think we did fail our Chorus of Spiritual Fortitude this turn, though.
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
So, kind of an interesting situation to be in. Devin down to only the characters for the most part, but the shields are down on the Sororitas army. I do wonder if he rolls out a Psychic phase and hopes for the best.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh. Did they get extra attacks?
Yeah, 3d3 attacks.
Okay. 3 ups. Take 1 damage.
Terminators will hit. Yeah. That's all it's fine on. save. Please. No. Oh, okay.
Devin just rolled 3 1s in a row. I think that's what happened.
Swords.
Which we think will happen, Sororitas versus Necrons or versus Space Wolves? For the semifinals game? That's a great question. I would love to see Space Wolves make it big in the Invitational here, chat. I think that'd be awesome. Now, we didn't mention beforehand, but both these players, it's actually a pretty auspicious game because both these players are previous T5S2 champions. Ash was the victor in Season 3 with Devin taking down our last season, Season 4, with Tau. In a convincing fashion, no less, although, I mean, it was Tau.
Your turn. Generate a miracle. You don't get your CP, I think. Oh wait, no, you do. You have this one, yeah.
The spawn is illusion test.
Leadership 9 on this chaos spawn. Those boys
This sucks.
do not want to run away.
That's honestly what I was worried about. Is this happening?
So, 1. Did I kill 1? Or 2?
Thanks, you kill 2 things. Yeah, I don't know what to do. T-Sun's psychic killing paragons. It's the unfortunate problem. And I can't more of them. It's even rare. Oh, this is unfortunate. What do you want to do, Mr. Exalted? One of these units can I potentially burst down? Oh, he's got to do that stupid prayer. I'll take the free reroll. Okay.
You had 20 Zangors exactly, right?
Zangors exactly.
So Zangors did get obliterated.
Oh, that's true.
Down to a single chaos spawn, 3 Scarab called Terminators. I think we just gotta start blasting with psychic powers, chat. So anyway, I started blasting. And then hope for the best.
2 shot 4.
There's an appreciable amount of firepower remaining over here in this corner, but it's not great, but it's something. Especially if we can regenerate Terminators and kill these 2 Paragons. There's only 9 wounds of Paragons in here. So it is potentially reasonable that we kill them in the Psychic Phase. And if you do, that opens up those Soul Reapers to shoot and potentially do some damage to the next Paragon Warsuit squad.
Is any more Cabal points? I guess that's a plus. We'll start the Exalted.
Twist idea for the finals: the players use each other's armies.
Fails, of course. Reroll. Here on the one.
So you should be on 2 CP, right?
No. I used the reroll from my last prayer. So 2 bolts off on a 6. Or a 7, technically.
Somebody... No, Doom Bolt?
Yeah, Doom Bolt the Exalted.
Yeah, I guess Dogmata. So she's...
Yep. Alright, was it tonight?
Yeah, it was denied. I rolled 6.
Well, Ash's dice continue to not disappoint here, chat. Just roll those 6 ups. Easy peasy.
The Morven, I guess. Oh, you get it?
with 3 mortals.
Take all
All
three.
three actually go through in the Paragons, so starting to
Just
accumulate
fire
some
one.
damage.
Mhm.
Only 6
Goes
ones
off.
left.
Not big though.
The Palatine, I guess.
Yep.
No, goes off.
You like the evil dice? Chat, did you know if you put an exclamation point store into the chat, you can actually get that the little backstabbing dice man on all sorts of merchandise. I highly recommend you do that because I'm very proud of that design, and I hope that people like it.
3 mortals. 3 more.
That's 3. This one dies. This one takes 2.
Cool. Come on. Do prestige. Goes off.
The one that's taken a lot of damage. No, get it.
Weaver. Oh, he takes D3. He just wants some barrels.
Yeah,
Takes
this
one.
one.
Weaver. Or not Weaver. Yes, Weaver. Whatever the other buff spell is, goes off. Also no.
This squad is no. Locks Weaver.
Smite. Goes off.
Gets 3 casts.
Yep, Armon has 3 casts.
Alright, I don't think I have anything left to deny with that I want to deny. No. I only have the Paragons left. Literally just the squad Paragon.
Sure. I'll spend a CP dog just to auto do 3 mortals with it.
Alright.
So trying to kill this Paragon. Oh my
Take
god,
one.
it makes 2 5-ups. We could Cabal point the extra D3 maybe?
Baby Sork will just smite you.
Oh no, we gotta smite again.
That guy smiting the Paragon.
Alright. No, alright, I'm out of denies.
For 1 mortal.
1 mortal. Can we kill it?
Pain.
Yay! Freeze up the Terminators. With great effort, the Terminators can finally shoot their guns.
Goes off.
Potentially into the other Paragon Warsuit squad. I believe we blocked the Presage, if I remember correctly. But it's still a lot of shooting going into those ladies.
All of these back since I don't have any denies, so I don't need to track them anymore.
We could also just take the gamble and fire into Morvenval and try to remove her. Although she actually is not in range to buff anything besides maybe Ephrael and Kaiganel, I guess. So she's a little bit less useful this turn, and it might just be worth trying to peel a couple of Paragons.
Paragons right in front of him on an 8. Fails. Angler Shaman will cast. We'll do Interrogation. Goes off on a 7.
It's true, chat. Morven is always in range of herself. You're not wrong.
Oh, you get it.
Cool. Two more casts. 3 more casts. These guys can do something as well. Sorcerer here will cast Smite on 9. Nope. Infernal Master will cast Doom Bolt again with 8 Cabal points. Goes off. These Paragons for 3 mortals.
Is this your last cast?
The guys up here have a cast as well.
Oh, I don't care about that. Alright, 1 CP, 4 up. No Doom Bolt. I think you actually do need to move back because you're drawing over the terrain.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Should be not with the 2 speed. Anywho, they're just gonna smite some mortifiers. Let's do. On a 10. They get it. I'll spend the 5 Cabal points to make it the D6 smite.
Okay.
I may as well. So I just guess D6 mortals or mortifiers. 2.
Exciting. 2 damage. That both get saved, of course.
Right.
These 5-ups, chat. You can't make it up. We're at like a good 50% on the 5-ups. I think right now on the AshC units. So we have a bunch of pot shots going into the Paragon War
They hit on
Seeds.
3, so we'll just roll together if that's fine.
Yeah.
Hit. 1 wound on Paragons.
Fine.
2 bolt missiles that hit on 2s. That's from Armon and the Exalted, they don't do anything. Rubrics will shoot you. Maybe 6 bolters. 1s.
Hey!
3 wounds to bolters.
Well, Planks for another one with the Rubric Marines.
Soul Reaper.
Hopefully pick that model up with the Soul Reaper.
Is 2 flops.
Where's the mortal wound counter? I don't know, but it's at like 10. It is. I believe every mortal wound was denied on turn 1, chat. Every single one. And this round we did like exactly 9, I think, to the Paragon Warseed squad here, and then every other one got saved. It has been very brutal.
I'll spend 2 CP for +1 wound.
Yeah, the
So
Sororitas on a 5+ said that we didn't get a mortal wound counter, and that's what happened.
On 4s, just 1 3 up. Rockets. All hit. Of course, I roll 2 1s. 2 3 ups. Goes through. 2 -1. 2.
Alright.
We got the good old Soul Reapers. Come on, Soul Reapers. Family. All hit and on 2s.
So pay the CP for +1 to wound. Let's do it. Oh, leaves 1 on 1. Almost got them. Oh, Sag.
Rubrics here. We put the Soul Reaper into that Paragon. And the Plasma Pistol just shoot a modifier for flying anything better to do.
Alright.
So the Soul Reaper.
I take a 4. Passes.
And then 2 from the Soul Reaper. On the Paragon.
Oh, I thought you rolled the Soul Reaper first. So I don't take a 4, that doesn't pass since that wasn't a roll. And okay, so 4 up. And I take a 4 up from the Miracle Pool and pass the last round.
Rude. That's rude, chat. We have to commit this Chaos Spawn to kill this little lady over here.
It's
Unfortunately, gotta walk into... I bet you could engage that Word of the Emperor triggering. I bet you can.
that's annoying. If I don't kill you, you just murder all my characters. Guess I'm gonna have to charge you. Do the Scarabs charging the Paragon? Some big number. That's not that. The Rubrics will try and charge you. Oh, not that. It's too far away. The Shaman's not gonna kill you. Fuck it, the Shaman will charge you. And you have yellow play right now. That's what yellow play.
Go get him, Zongor Shaman. Let's do it, dude.
Alright.
Little awkward there.
Sucks.
How has it come to this? Well, it hits 1 time. That's exciting. And it wounds.
Wound.
Take
Roll
that.
1.
Roll a 1.
No.
No, we're going to miracle it.
Alright, Disc Blade, you're up.
At least we're down to only 1s on the miracle.
That's a wound. Get him, Disc.
And it saves against the disc. Oh, no!
Paragon 6 back.
That sucks. That's mega unfortunate. Almost killed all 6 Paragon Warseeds there, though, chat. The downside there is and I mean, that's the eternal downside of playing against the Sisters list. Is, oftentimes, if you kill the Mortifiers, you haven't killed enough of the Paragons, they kill you in shooting. If you kill the Paragons, you haven't killed enough of the Mortifiers, and they mop you up in the late game. And that's, I think, what we're mostly going to see here. Not so much the characters are still alive. Thousand Sun's not quite dead, but probably about to be.
I just killed them with the Paragons.
No grind. Alright. Flip. I generate a miracle.
See, probably go that whole Terminator break on turn 1 or turn 2.
Alright, okay. You can get there. Alright. Okay, so where are all my pink tokens? Can't go anywhere. She can't cast anything. Not yet.
I believe that the
Reach.
Chaos Bond fell back from the Paragons, chat, which
Can't
is why I didn't
reach.
attack with it.
I need
Because the
Warhim.
Paragons have been fighting the unit previously, and I think they engaged it.
Not really.
Because this was the
But it
remaining
would
Chaos
be
Bond that was on
nice.
the edge of the objective here, so it would have been within the 2-inch
Okay,
extended
so-
engagement range of the Paragon.
Yeah, Warhim. Fails, alright. Val will buff the Cardinal instead. Okay, movement. First things first, the sister runs up from back here. This poor Paragon can't shoot anything. Which is frustrating. Unless I spend the CP. Oh, you can't charge. It's also frustrating. Multipliers will advance. 2. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Could I charge this? Could I charge this family through the wall? You didn't
Sure.
intend. You did not intend for that, right?
I did not intend that. No.
Yeah.
You can charge it.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Shut
Yeah, you can just shuffle them. It's fine.
Should be there.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed you'd like done that, and then I
Yeah.
rolled my advance, and then I was like, oh wait, that kind of does not look like. Right. This
So I'll break Devin's banner on that objective, unfortunately. These two folks still holding out hope on this objective. Please, 2-ton war machines, please don't turn us into soup. I guess flambe, nice flambe with those Ministorum flamers. And Ephrail Stern about to come in here and put that ignore invulnerable sword to use. I think this is oftentimes how Ash ends her games. She has usually taken a lot of damage on the way in, but it's enough to commit or to deliver a couple of the remaining suits and most of the characters, and that's usually enough to close the game out for her. Even if you've killed all the Paragons and all of the Mortifiers, it's oftentimes that you don't have enough to do that and survive Ephrail Stern and Morven Ball.
Okay, shooting. Alright, sorry, this is still puts up a banner, so I'll put that back. Yep, alright, so shooting. Stern smites, tries to smite the Terminators. That is a 10, so she gets a d6. 3 mortal wounds. Okay. These mortifiers. Well, they got a 2 up no matter what, so there's no point shooting that. Mortifiers are just gonna shoot these swords.
Yep.
The ones on the objective next to them. 16 attacks. That was.
Yeah, I don't know what would happen there, chat. I think you gotta get through the armor first, right? But the dust is all kind of inside of the
13
armor.
saves.
Okay.
Fine. Oh, Val is just going to shoot. That spawn, which you can see the claw. Up here. Yeah. So 3 shots is the bolter. 2 hits, 2 wounds, and 2 rockets. 4 hit. So both wounds. So 2 rockets and 2 bolters.
Bolters.
Dead.
Is the spawn or the spawn?
That's fine. Yeah, just it. Alright, so that is a kill. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So generate miracle, which is a 1.
Paragon Warseed's locked in combat out of line of sight, it looks like.
Look at all these 1 stack.
So no additional shooting.
So we start with the Palatine. Charging the Terminator? No, a Morven will charge the Terminators. The Terminator. That's it.
Good job, Marvin Ball. Nailed it.
No.
We're proud of you.
So I have to reroll this. 7 makes it. Paganel and Stern will charge. Changes to here. Yeah, so the 2 of them, that's a 6-inch. And they fail. Multipliers will charge the sorcerer next to them. You take that one. I clearly sequenced those charges wrong. Palatine will just charge the shaman. Wait, no, you don't have CP. She'll charge the Terminators. Making it. Alright. So fight. This is fighting last. Whatever that matters. Multipliers, let's just start with the blades. 3's rerolling. And 2's. 9
Dino
GP
spotted.
falls on those 2.
They're dead.
Okay. Ball takes us 5 attacks. Rolling, they're -1, right?
Yes.
Alright, so 5 hits with the explosion, wounding on 2's. 5 saves, AP 3, so 4 ups, and 2 mortal ones after. Did it. Okay, Yozango can swing. He is currently -1 strength.
All right, Zongor Shaman, it's your time. Let's get it done, boy. No!
4 times in a row. Good job, Zangor.
CP reroll.
Will swing back.
Devin, CP reroll. We have to kill that lady. Make her go away.
7. If I move to here, I think I'm slightly closer. 1.6. And I get within ball range, so 4 attacks. Rerolling 1s. Doesn't matter. And on 2s, because you're -1 toughness, rerolling 1, doesn't matter. 4 saves. And he's dead. Alright. Palatine is just gonna move to here. And that is my turn, I generate a miracle and another miracle, and you are not holding. So you score you only get 1.
Yeah, so no command points generated for Thousand
So
Suns.
you're at 1 CP.
They have characters and 5 Ruber Brains left. To be fair, only the Zangor Shaman actually died. So still all the characters here, but I think that... I'm not sure these characters have what it takes to kill 7 Mortifiers, even if they can get through Morphin Balls 4+ damage ignore, as well as the Palatine and Ephrail starting Kaigano.
If there are no mortifiers, this wouldn't be so bad, but...
Yeah. Yeah, we're on the same page there, Devin. I agree. There are some ways and means that Devin could use to come back, but I don't know if he has what it takes to push through. Because you can use Sorcerer's Facade to teleport around the table, we could potentially see a play where we try to get a Sorcerer here and get Smites into the mission area and then maybe charge to Objective 6 and try to clear those 2 objectives out. But for the most part, because Ash now has control of the Thousand Suns home objectives, she's probably not losing any points on primary from here on out. Not really sure that Thousand Suns have any plays remaining.
2 more on grind. 6, 12, 24.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
If I max everything, I think I just get to like where your score is right now. And scoring. It's actually not.
6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1,
For
2,
the
3.
Emperor!
Thank you, chat.
Yeah, if I just score my...
So I can max interrogate, I'll get 2 more banners for sure.
Yeah, if I just passively sit, I get hold 2 and
your
3
banners,
for banners,
Yeah.
and I overtake you already at the start of round 5.
Yeah.
You
I
want
think-
call it?
That's probably
Yeah,
Oh,
solid.
Alright.
Yeah, and there's the talk out chat. Yeah, well,
Fortunately, Sisters is basically unwinnable for T-Suns. 90%.
There you go.
Well,
If anybody has
at
any questions
least you
from
got to
players, go
play a
ahead and
bit
throw
of
them
the
in the
game,
chat.
unlike if you're playing into Bloody Rose, where you just...
I actually would prefer Bloody Rose in this matchup. Or on this table.
Yeah, I guess the lack of big middle block does a lot.
Because you can just shove 9 Paragons up and I can't kill them fast enough.
Yeah.
Because AP2 weapons go horribly in because armor contempt, and you just make a unit in the powers and it can't smite you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably also compounded by the CPs for the mission, because if you don't have the big boat of CPs early to get the Wombo combo off on the Scarab Occults, to just try to one-shot a unit, yeah, it's a little bit awkward.
And even then, like, through armor contempt, it's very hard to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the Soul Reapers help, I think. If you can get them to winning on 2s, it's probably okay.
Yeah, like if they win on 2s, they'll kill Paragon mathematically, but then it's the Stormbolters and the Rockets, like, might?
Yeah.
But they usually don't.
Yeah.
Like, especially once you factor in, like, Miracle Dice and Stratagems, it's very difficult to actually wipe that unit.
Right.
And then also failing 8 out of 10 form saves on turn 2 did not help.
Yeah, yeah, that was brutal, for sure.
Yeah.
And converting no mortal wounds on the first turn also. It's a little bit awkward.
That was very surprising, honestly. I was expecting to lose 2 sisters, and then do like a smite. And then just like eat a Paragon, eat a shitload of Paragon wounds, and then it did it.
No.
I was hoping to do.
Yeah, but turn failing a 6-inch charge and a 3-inch charge.
It didn't matter at that point.
It didn't, but it was funny.
For sure. C-Mob was asking Ash, what you think of your potential matchups for the semifinals? Although, obviously, with the asterisk that the lists could be changed.
No offense to Antonio, but I am almost certain I beat him in either of his comfortable factions, assuming
HX.
assuming I didn't
Spawn!
change, assuming I don't change my list.
It's true.
Uh,
You should change one to one that's worse against Space Wolves, specifically for that matchup.
Yes, but if it's max, then I don't know. I have no experience whatsoever.
Fair enough. Dutes has told you that now, at this point, you are now legally required to win the event so that he can feel vicariously
Cleanse,
accomplished.
purge, kill!
So I hope that you take that to heart.
I will do my best.
Okay, fair enough. And I think that's all the questions from chat.
I guess that means that Antonio is legally obligated to win, so that I have a comfortable matchup rather than one I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's fair. Just grind nothing but games against Necrons. Although I feel like in order to compete in FOM, you probably need to grind games against Necrons based on my limited experience so far.
Yeah, they're certainly good.
Yeah, for sure. They're super strong.
And then now there's like a 4-day gap before the next game or something.
Yeah. Well, we don't know when. There's one of the games still up in the air, and then we have one scheduled for Sunday, and then obviously we have another round 2 game or another round 1 game on Thursday. So we have between now and Thursday, anything could happen, really. I guess.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Let's see where Jonathan and Paper schedule, I guess.
For sure. Yeah, that's gonna be a big one. Cool.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, Ash, congratulations on taking it down, and thank you too for a sweet game.
Yes. And I have now secured my $75 of Games Workshop store credit.
Yay!
Yay.
Exciting stuff. Cool. All right, I'll let you two go.
Who would I like to fight in the final? I see that in chat. I would like to fight Jonathan.
All right. Do you hear that, Jonathan? Ash thinks that you are easy prey. So.
No, I think that's what I predict that bracket to be.
Oh, I see. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Blood Angels are a bit of a wild card, but I think he takes it, and I think he beats either of the Heretic Astartes, because they just don't have good profiles into Harlequins.
Sure.
Strength 5 nice to be possessed into Harlequins.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely makes that matchup a lot easier.
Alright, I am gonna go grab lunch, and I assume you guys want to go to sleep.
Sounds good. Have a delicious lunch.
I will do my best. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Later.
See ya. And that's it, chat. We did it. Pretty quick game, that one. All of Ash's games tend to be very quick. That is part of the reason that she runs Speedhammer. Because she plays super fast games. Agent X gave Blood Angels a secret weapon today. Actual Voidsman and Landspeeder Storm. Yeah, I saw that. Adorable. Adorable model exchange there. Absolutely love it. Okay. We'll go ahead and peace out for now. Again, just like Ash said, we don't know when the next game is going to be scheduled. We certainly have one scheduled for Thursday right now, but the time is still up in the air between Salad, who is currently out of town, and Lord Skew. But that will determine, obviously, the round 2, the fight against Dylan Usher as well. So that's a big question mark, too. So once those get locked in, we'll know when those happen. Obviously, we're also waiting on Jonathan versus Paper for that schedule. Hopefully it happens between now and Thursday so that we have something else to watch. But in the meantime, we will have lots of other things to do. So I'm going to be streaming Tactical Tuesday tomorrow as normal, and I'll probably be live later on this week with regular streams as well. Friday, it looks like I'm probably not going to be live, but at the very least, I'll be live Wednesday for sure. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with me, chat. Nurgle Matt in there. Thank you, dude. Really appreciate it. Nurgle Matt in both chats as well. What an absolute chat. I do want to throw out a big shout out to our sponsors real quick there. We didn't have a chance to do it in the video earlier in the game because we went so blindingly fast. But 3D6 Wargaming, GameMat.eu, Snot Goblin Gaming, all of them making some sweet stuff. 3D6 Wargaming for your, if you want to, you can actually assemble all of these three sponsors together, and with their powers combined, you can create an entire gorgeous table of Warhammer 40k. 3D6 Wargaming gives you terrain templates if you want to play US Open layout like we are doing here. You can buy the bases. They basically look just like this, and then you can put your terrain on top of it. Plus, you can get objective markers. GameMat.eu makes the game mats double-sided even, so you can get 2 designs for the price of 1. And Snot Goblin Gaming with a Kickstarter in August to make 3D modular ruins, which look absolutely sick, and you can put those on top of the mats from 3D6 Wargaming. Chat, it's like a trifecta of awesomeness. Anyway, that's the shout-out done. We'll go ahead and wrap things up, chat. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Keep it classy, and I will see you tomorrow.